Hi, I wanted to share with you a very bad story of an Airbnb loophole, which I'm currently a part of. The Airbnb loophole comes from the guest, not the host. I am the host, so I've been hosting for a while, and it's a good service. I can't complain about the service, except today. I had a reservation that was supposed to be confirmed for 3 p.m. yesterday. 2 days ago, they texted me at 9 p.m. saying that they needed to cancel, which is less than 24 hours uh, before the reservation, which my cancellation policy is flexible, which means that if you cancel more than 24 hours, you get a full refund, no problem. But if you do less than 24 hours, then you have to eat the reservation. There's no point. Lo and behold, he texts me at 9 p.m. He wants to cancel, very last minute, whatever. The next morning at 10 a.m., he didn't cancel, but then he texted me to alter the reservation. So, looking at his reviews, I found that to be a little bit shady. I found him to be a little bit of a flip flopper. And I don't want to host anybody like that because can you imagine somebody like that at your house where they accidentally break something, maybe pierce a hole, and says, "No, it was there already, so it wasn't me. I'm not going to pay you anything." So I don't want to host anybody like that. So due to the fact that his reviews were already negative, I had wanted to just take him anyway because I thought it was going to be fine. I thought it was just a cultural thing. And I wasn't going to have a problem. I was willing to host him, and if he was going to be a good stay, I was going to give him a positive review so the next person can see the review and maybe he can have a positive track record. That's how track records are formed. Sometimes you have bad ones, sometimes you have good ones. I was willing to give him a good one if he had a good stay. But apparently that did not prove to be true. So he tried to alter the reservation yesterday at 10 a.m., and that's when I thought it was too shady, so I needed to call the Airbnb customer support to tell them what was going on and to ask them to fix it and help me out. And I told them about the text messages I received, and the first lady was very good on the phone, very helpful, and then sent me an email telling me, hey, reply to this email with the text messages received. So I did that, and then no response at all. And then 3 p.m. comes, which is the check-in time yesterday, no response at all. So I called again, and the second person I spoke with, I told her, listen, this reservation is active in 5 minutes, and so I need to resolve this now because he thinks he can alter it, and he thinks he can do this, and I don't want to deal with this. I need you to handle this particular situation because he's obviously trying to cheat the system by altering the reservation, having it be more than 24 hours during the time period, and then he can cancel penalty free, which is the loophole that I was trying to avoid. If I had accepted the alteration, he would have canceled penalty free. I told the person that at 3, and they're like, yeah, yeah, I'll fix it. Somebody's gonna call you as soon as I get off the phone with you. Okay, great. So I get off the phone. Nobody called me. I would have followed up with a phone call, but I received an email that said I had a payout issued, and the payout was the full balance minus $100 for a cancellation fee, which which I thought the reservation was canceled. So and then they put it on me, and they put $100 cancellation. I was mad, but like my cancellation policy, I'm flexible. So if I had that, sorry, and if I had that happen, then I was fine with it. Lo and behold, nothing happened. And then today is the day of his alteration. He altered it from yesterday at 3, today at 3, and then he started calling me and blowing up my phone saying, hey, we're going to go there now, we're going to go there now. Are you ready to have us? Everything good? So obviously, I thought this was solved yesterday, so um, I called Airbnb support again. So when I called Airbnb support again, they called him and they told him that I had a family emergency, so I needed to cancel to avoid any further conflict. Which fine, avoid any further conflicts. That's fine. So the then he cancels, and then she calls me back and says, "Well, I called her once, and then she said, let me call him, and then let me call you back." So I hung up. Then she called me back and said, "Hey, I've told him this so to avoid any further conflict. Now the thing is, we're gonna have to issue him a full refund because you were uncomfortable and you did not want to host his guest. You canceled on him. Of course, It's nuts. So like I tried to solve it yesterday, nobody calls me, nobody does anything. And now today, when something has actually been done, I owe him the full refund. That's what I was trying to avoid in the first place. That's the loophole that I was trying to avoid, where like anybody can make any reservation they want, change it, alter it. Once they alter it to fit the flexible cancellation policy or whatever cancellation policy you have, doesn't matter if you accept it or not, you still get the full refund as a guest, apparently. So that's what happened with this guest. She was like, oh, he's entitled to a full refund. And I was obviously livid because it was blatant, it was obvious that this was not an accommodation, this was a risk. An accommodation is somebody that needs something special to be done. Maybe a family emergency where they can't go the first day, the second day they need to check in. Fine. This was a risk. This is the shady person that was changing dates. I didn't want a shady person staying in my apartment. So I would let them know that. It was very obvious. I sent them the proof of the text messages that I received. And they were unwilling to accept it, and they even claimed that he was trying to just cancel the first day and try to make it the second day. You know, like if that made any sense. He said he wanted to cancel, but they're claiming that he just wanted to cancel the first day. Why would he want to cancel, then make the alteration the next day at 10 a.m.? So it's very clear that Airbnb tries to side hard with their guests because they want to maintain their brand and they want to maintain their integrity. And they have probably a bunch of hosts, and if they lose one, it's not a big deal because their image and their brand awareness is what matters. So that's the loophole. The loophole is with the guest. You can make any reservation you want, alter it at the last moment, the last day. Then when you alter it, say you want to cancel. Then see what happens after that. Because when you say you want to cancel, text a person. No, it's not. I'm sorry, I got that wrong. If you want to cancel on the very last day, but you've run out of time and you've forgotten, and they have a flexible cancellation policy, alter the date, hope they accept. If they accept, cancel it. If they don't, call Airbnb support and say you have changed the date and they don't want to accept it. You don't want to stay with them anymore because they didn't want to accept the alteration you wanted on your date. And then you get your full refund, you get your full money back. So that's what happened to me. And I had to negotiate that I was entitled to at least the first day because my cancellation policy said that if you cancel more than 24 hours before your days, that you were entitled to a full refund. But if it's less, then you have to pay. So they said, okay, well, they owe me the first day. But the next days, we offer them the full refund, which is, it's a full reservation. So it's not like days of reservation. You didn't make 4 different reservations for 4 days, meaning that if you miss the first one, you're entitled to that payment, but the next 3 are separate reservations, so you're fine. So it's very clear, very, very clear that Airbnb sides with the guests a lot of times in a scary way. And what I mean by scary is that it pushes the host to accept reservations that they don't want to accept because they're going to pay for it. They're going to pay for the lack of pursuit of problems that Airbnb doesn't want to take. So because Airbnb didn't want to pursue this problem, I paid for it. So that's basically it's kind of like the franchise market where like if you have a bunch of franchises, you know, they kind of pay for your mistakes sometimes, and you kind of have that that ground that takes the fall for you. So apparently that's what Airbnb is becoming. It's sad. I'm going to take off my listings, but if any guest wants to take advantage of this loophole, by all means.